Hello. I wanted to just briefly set up the primary source essay assignment for you. I've got all these instructions in the assignment prompt here on the computer as well, but sometimes it's nice, again, just to kind of talk through things. So what you're doing with the primary source essay is, it's really, I just kind of have mislabeled it because you're looking at more than just primary sources, but what you're trying to figure out is how do primary sources help us have a deeper understanding of the material? How do they change how we understand the material? So your center wants to be that primary source. So in the first 4 chapters of the American Yawp, pick one source, one of the primary sources, and then read that source, write a paragraph about what you read, and then look at the other secondary source materials that you have in this class. You've got the textbook as a secondary source, and you have the lecture, which is a secondary source. Once you look at the primary source, and then you look at the secondary source in the textbook, you look at the secondary source of the lecture, how does that provide additional historical context for the source? What could you not have known in the primary source if you didn't have some of that secondary source explanation? Or on the other hand, what did the primary source give you that you couldn't have pulled from the secondary sources? So you're really just taking, again, the sources that historians use to tell stories to try to figure out how we can tell a more complete or a better story. I gave you some examples. If you want to look at maybe witchcraft a little bit further, you've got a document in witchcraft that's in chapter 2 of the American Yawp. That is in the corresponding textbook of chapter 2. So wherever the primary source is in American Yawp, that's where the secondary source chapter is going to be as well. The lectures don't always align because I'm sometimes telling the stories in a little bit different order, pulling them out a little bit further. So you're going to actually go to the week 5 lecture to learn a little bit about witchcraft and see how that corresponds. This isn't a formal essay. You're writing a paragraph for each source. So it can be conversational in nature, right? Write a paragraph about the primary source, a paragraph about what you read in the textbook in the American Yawp, and then a paragraph about what you learned from the lecture. You're going to want to include citations from each of these sources, right? Pull a specific example from that source and then cite it. That's the most formal part of the essay, I suppose, is the citations. But otherwise, it can be conversational in nature. If you are not sure which sources to pick from or which sources to compare to one another, please send me an email. Like I always say, I can't know that you need help if you don't tell me that you need help. And if meeting via Zoom is helpful, I'm happy to do that too. Just gotta send me an email. We can set something up. I look forward to seeing what y'all come up with. You're gonna do this with 2 primary sources, right? So you'll choose one primary source, then you'll compare it to the American Yawp textbook, and then what we have in lecture. And then you're gonna choose a second primary source, and again, you'll write 1 paragraph about the primary source, 1 paragraph about what you read in the textbook, and then 1 paragraph what's in the lecture. So you'll have a total of 6 paragraphs. But again, it's not a 6-paragraph essay because it's really one examination of 3 sources and another examination of 3 sources. But again, if you've got any questions, just let me know. I'm happy to help. I look forward to seeing what y'all come up with. This is a fun assignment to read because students choose so many different sources and have so many different ideas about what they're finding in the textbook and in the lecture material. All right, take care. Bye-bye.